Hey everyone, Jim from Ohio here, and it's been forever since I last posted a video. I think the last one that I posted was the final video from our previous house. Well, we did move into a new house, actually a previously owned house in southern Ohio. Here we are in the backyard. And just wanted to give everybody a quick update. I do hope to start posting some more videos soon. So we moved into this house in December, and right away there were a lot of projects that needed to be taken care of that we had to do really quickly, and so we just didn't take the time to post any videos. Anybody that posts videos knows that it takes twice as long to do any project when you're taking the time to video it and explain it as well. We just didn't have the time to video things, so we just knocked the projects out, and that's what we've been doing since last December. So we're now at a point where we can probably catch our breaths. We have a lot of projects we still need to do. There's a lot of other projects that we want to do. So we just wanted to give everybody a quick hello and let you know we're still alive and kicking, and kind of give you a tour of the new place. We did downsize on the physical side of the house, physical size of the house, but we kind of upscaled the land a little bit. So now we have 2 acres, and we own back to where the mow line is there, and we're hoping to at some point buy the property behind us. The 3 acres that is back there is currently undeveloped, and we just don't want anybody to build back there. We're trying to negotiate a price with the owner of that property, which happens to be the same person we bought the house from. But right now he's a little bit unreasonable in price. But some of the things that we've done so far since we've been here, we do have some blueberry bushes. The 3 tall bushes over here were here when we moved in and really produced a lot of blueberries for us this year. We did move 2 blueberry bushes from our previous place, and those are the 2 smaller blueberry bushes that are in front. We put in a couple raspberry bushes, but of course they're still immature, we have a long way to go. We did have some bluebirds built in our bluebird boxes this year, and right behind that are some grape vines. We put in 2 kinds. One is a seedless Concord, and the other type is a seedless Catawba. Also back in the back, this area is going to be kind of a food forest for us, and we do have some fig trees, some hazelnut trees, some persimmon trees, some plum trees, some peach trees, pear tree, a couple apple trees. We've got some watermelons going over here, and actually they're doing really well. This tree right here, it's kind of shaped kind of funky. This was here when we moved in. This is a cherry tree, but it's got some kind of rot or damage at the bottom. We're probably going to end up having to take it out. All of this back here is work that we've done. Actually, we couldn't even access this property until the beginning of June due to some flooding issues that we're still working out. But we did put up one of the large Martin houses. We've got a local Amish community near us, and they were selling these kits as well as the pole kit to go with it. So instead of the little Martin house gourds, we do have an actual condo. And when we put this up, I think it was April when we put it up, within 24 hours we actually had martins start moving in. It was really fascinating. This late in the year, there are a few of them that are still coming and going to the house. At one point we probably had 30 martins living in it, and we're almost at the point of the year where we're ready to lower that, clean it, and cover it up for the year. One of the projects that we're going to need to work on, this is a ditch that a lot of the runoff, well, you see we've got a lot of hills around where we are now, and we've got a lot of runoff that comes off the hills when it rains heavy, and this is the drainage ditch that feeds it down the line and ends up going to a lake that's about a quarter of a mile down the road. The person that lived in this house before really did not maintain this ditch at all, and it is all eroded. The sides have caved in and grass has grown up in it. And so every time it rains, this overflows and causes some flooding issues. So we have started working on this. You can see down at the far end here is some of what we've cleaned out so far. And unfortunately, we're having to do this work with a shovel. We're not able to get a backhoe in here because both sides, because of all the flooding, both sides of the bank are really soft and mushy to stand on even, and any kind of big or heavy equipment would just sink down. So that's taken a little bit of time. We just started that last week. As far as the rest of the place, we do have a garden that we cleared out and put in this year. This is the same place the previous owner had his garden. We are going to work on trying to get the soil balanced. We've got a lot of soil deficiency problems, but we did do pretty well with the garden this year. We're still collecting a lot of tomatoes. We've got a bunch of green beans and cucumbers coming in. We do have some corn in the background there. My wife and I did take some time. This is a memorial garden that we put in. It's heart-shaped. This is for our daughter Sasha, who we lost to cancer several years back. But this is something that my wife wanted to do once we got settled at the new place, and so this is what she designed, and we took the time to build it. We did have to run power out here, and this is a fountain. It's not running quite yet. It does run, we just don't have it turned on right now. The house did come with a 30 by 40 pole barn. So this building is awesome. It's great for, we've got our garden tools in one quarter of it. I've got my woodworking shop in part of it. And then the other part is going to be a catch-all room or recreation room, whatever we want to do. Right now it's very disorganized. We're still trying to build cabinets and shelves. I did build a loft. I'll show you that as part of a project later on. Fortunately, the person that we sold our previous house to did set up an arrangement with us, so in the springtime we could go back and dig up some of the flowers and plants that we had at our last house. And so the majority of what you see here flower-wise are plants that we actually moved from the previous place to this place. We did put another zip line in for our dog, and we've got solar lights on top of it. Speaking of solar, this house will present a few challenges that we didn't have at our last house. The direction that I'm pointing now is south, and you see we do have some trees to the south, but we do have a roof line now that faces south. And the way the layout of the yard is, and the way that everything is with the ditch, and just where the garden's positioned, I don't really see a place to put my ground mount without having to run really hundreds and hundreds of feet of cable, which is very expensive right now. So I did at one point in time consider putting a ground mount down here on the other side of the grapes facing to the south, but I'd have to span the ditch and run the cabling all the way, through the garden and either into the pole barn where I do have a sub panel, or to the back side of this wall right here where my electrical panel is. And I'm not quite sure that I want to go that route yet. So what I'm considering doing is actually putting the solar up on this side of the roof, and maybe even connecting it into the grid to backfeed, and then doing a smaller off-grid system that's maybe tied into the sub panel over here. At some point I do want to put a mini split heater and air conditioning system on the pole barn, and I can probably put some additional panels there since this is west, and I do get good western exposure to that roof. but we're still trying to figure out what we're going to do. We did put in a fire pit over here, and we are planning on designing a walk-through garden. This whole half of the yard is going to be trees and shrubs and flowers, and we'll probably put in a pond over where the grass plants are right there. But we've started to do a lot of installation of a lot of flower beds, and more of the flowers we moved from the previous place. We've put in a couple red bud trees, a couple dogwood trees. This tree was here when we moved in. We've got a magnolia tree over there that was there when we moved in. The house itself, it needs some repairs. The vinyl siding looks like it wasn't really put up right, and it's got some problems. We did have to do some major excavation and replacement of the garage floor and part of the driveway, and then put a drain in the driveway, since our driveway slopes down towards the house. And when we did that, we like I said, we put a driveway drain in, and we had to excavate and run a drain tile here where we're missing the grass, and it carries the water all the way around to the back side of the house and ends up back at the drainage ditch back there. But lots of work we've done so far, lots of work yet to do, and we look forward to some of those projects coming up soon. And we'll record what we're doing. We did have to just put in a new mailbox just last week, because some drunk in the middle of the night seemed to want to run it over. But I guess you deal with that stuff in the city as well as in the country. But anyway, that's a quick tour of the new digs. Like I said, we hope to post some videos and some upcoming projects. We're going to do some cooking, we're going to do some canning, we're going to do some woodwork and other craft projects. Of course, we're going to definitely do a lot of gardening projects, and we hope to sometime get that solar stuff going and try to do what we can to reduce our power bill. But that's a quick tour. If you've stuck with me this long, thanks for watching. As always, please sure to like, subscribe, and come back and watch our videos, and stay tuned for more stuff. This is Jim signing off. Take care now. Bye-bye.